Hey, everybody, and welcome. Okay, first off, let's start that Facebook seems to be having issues with the chat room. So if I can't see your comments in the chat room on Facebook, I will be follow. I'll be following myself on Facebook. So I will do my best to get any. There we go. Let's hope the sound is turned down. At least I know there's one person in there. There we go. Okay. So, first off, thank you all for joining us in the conversation with friends. My guest tonight is, whoops, Melissa Bryan. But first,
Hi.
a little shout out to my good friend Gina Bankston, who I co-host with on the Fox Den on Thursday evenings. She has allowed me to borrow her platform so that we can simulcast both to Facebook and to YouTube. So thank you, Gina, for the. Yep, Facebook is not allowing me to see comments. Schnooks. Thank you for allowing us to use the platform. And all right, let's see if I can get your bio, Melissa. Let's see. All right. Melissa is also known as Little Feather, 16th great granddaughter of Elder White Feather of the VA, I'm assuming that's Virginia,
I
Iroquois
apologize. That's
Nation,
fancy.
and 14th great grannies of Dragging Canoe in Western Cherokee Nation. She is married and has no children, except for fur babies, and they count. She dreams one day of opening her own small store to live simply. Melissa was born in Santa Ana, California. She's
Santa
40.
Monica.
Santa Monica. Sorry, where'd I get Santa Ana? Santa Monica,
No worries.
California. She is 41 years old and as a child,
No,
she,
43 now. 43.
okay, 43.
43.
Jeez, I gotta update my bios. She began to have experiences that she didn't understand at the time, and after serious illness and injury, she believes that something was left open and never closed again. As Melissa got older, the experiences intensified. Early in her life, she discovered her family's rich history of Native American heritage and links to the metaphysical abilities. There is a long line of mystics, psychics, healers, and shamans in her family. It seems that the abilities which she shut down got passed to her from her predecessors. She also discovered her guide, and his name is David. Melissa is a kitchen table, t shirt, and jeans wearing pot of coffee or hot tea on the stove. Your favorite aunt that you can tell stories to. And she's a country woman at heart. And of course, with a little bit of blame. Well, first off, thank you very much. Oh my goodness, I'm going to really have to pay attention to this chat room. Thank you very much, Melissa, for joining me on the show tonight. And
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
this is going to be fun. Like I said, I'll be a little bit distracted because I don't know why Facebook has decided to be a bonehead
Pain in the behind.
and
All
not
right,
allow us.
Zuckerberg.
There
All
you
right,
go.
Zuckerberg. You better knock this crap off before I come over there and kick your hiney.
There you go. Look, Mama D and Melissa say you got to get this together.
Yeah,
All right. So we have about
exactly.
5 people plus watching in our chat room. I'm not going to be able to say hi to everybody, but if you have a question or a comment to make, can you do me a favor and put it in capital letters so this kitty cat will see something shiny and pay attention? um, okay, so aside from what I just told everybody in your bio, tell us a little bit more about you.
Oh my gosh. Well, I've been psychic medium all my life. I was born into a family that has abilities to spirit. And I finally eventually wrote a book about it because I had everything all over the place scattered over so many different, social channels that I figured, I better just put them all in one place where, I can kind of get it out to those that need it.
Right. Now the book is Born into Shamanism.
Yes.
Hold on. I even have a picture of it. There we go. Ta-da! Oh, let's get this. There you go. And that you can get on Amazon. And I'm sure there's probably a few other places, but with Facebook acting up, I didn't get to check out the other links that we can get them to. So, first off, what was your first connection that you can remember? Your first connection to spirit.
Well, my sister was a newborn, and I had woken up from a horrible dream that, kept going probably into my early 20s. I no longer have that now, thankfully. That's
Good.
over. But something came into my parents' bedroom because I'd gotten in between them, because you know how little kids are. Mom, Dad, can I come sleep with you? I had a nightmare,
Mm-hmm.
I had a bad dream. Yeah.
Been
And it
there,
was
done that.
just to, kind of comfort me. Yeah. And something came into their bedroom and tried to go after my then infant sister. And I said, no, no, you're not going to do that. Get out. Out of my home now. Get out. Leave. And it left. Never came back.
Good. And when Melissa speaks, spirit listens. Very good. I
Oh,
like
yes.
that. Do you have one memory that is from your childhood that is like the first one to scare the bejeebers out of you? And that's gone.
I think that was the first one that
That
scared the
was it.
jeepers out of me. I think that one was the first one and probably one of many.
Okay. We've got a question in the chat room. Claire H. Louise, what's the strangest things that happened to you?
Oh my gosh. I've had a lot of strange things. I think, um, it's been so many. I'd have to, you know what? I've got a copy of my book right here.
Yeah.
I've got
I
a
didn't
copy
get
of
a
it right
chance. I
here.
didn't get a. Oh, I love that. I didn't get a chance to read it because it's been one of those crazy times. But
Yeah,
I
no,
will
I
get
hear
to read it
you.
and I'll have you back. Mm. So,
um,
are you in your family? You're not the only child, but
no.
are you? Does your sister have abilities, and do you have any other siblings?
I have one sister. She now has a little boy of her own. He is my heart and soul. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Oh,
I gotta show you guys a picture. Oh my god, I know. I'm constantly bragging. I am so sorry. I've got to. He is way too adorable for his own good. He's a beautiful thing. Oh my god. He is so adorable and he has no idea how adorable he really is.
well, wait.
Oh
He's a
my
boy. He'll grow up
god.
and figure it out.
He is absolutely so precious. Oh my god. I've got to find the picture of him. Oh my god. I am so in love. The minute my sister was pregnant, I was like, I'm going to spoil him. I'm going to love him and kiss him and adore him and spoil him. Oh my god. I'm going to love him, love him, love him to no end. And I do. Everybody loves him. Oh my god. Oh my god. He is just adorable.
Okay.
Can you
And
tell him?
yeah, I think you're showing that you're going to be one of those ants that's going to smother them with love and kisses.
Oh
Okay.
god, yeah.
Everybody in the chat room, if you could just let me know how my sound is. How is my sound? Aside from not being able to speak. Claire Louise in the chat room. The book is called Born into Shamanism by Melissa Bryan.
Right there.
It's on the little
There he
ticker
is right
underneath.
there. There he is right there
Oh,
in his
little
Halloween
fireman, hot
costume.
diggity dog.
Yeah. And he wants to be a fireman, folks, when he gets older. I could not be more proud. He graduates from Firefighter Academy. He better be sending me pictures of everything he does.
Very good. I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will.
And his entire department. Those young men are gonna call me auntie. It's like I'm gonna spoil him rotten. What can I say?
Good. Uh, Great. And now your sister, does she have any abilities?
Yes, she is a healer. She's a physical therapist. And my dad was a respiratory therapist, means he works with the heart, the lungs, the breathing system.
Mm-hmm.
So he was a respiratory therapist. My sister's a physical therapist. I do healing work through my hands. I'm very touch oriented.
Okay.
Um, I'm also a psychic medium. I do pendulum psychometry, which means reading photos and objects, buildings, land. Yeah,
Okay. Now I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, you also do paranormal investigations.
used to. I'm
Used
retired.
to. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm retired.
and that was just because
I
you
got
sort
a
of had
lot of
enough.
threat. I got a lot of threats and a lot of bullshit for it, and um, there's just some
Yes.
people out there won't let me do it. So I just finally gave up. I said, if this is the way it's gonna be, take it. I don't want it anymore.
Yeah.
But I still
No.
love spirit. I still love spirit, and spirit does come occasionally. In fact, about 3 nights ago, I had a really terrifying experience. Um, I was sitting in my bedroom with my husband listening to a podcast that we both really like, and we were relaxing. I was playing around on my cell phone. I look up and I see this dark, shadowy figure out uh, toward the end of the trailer where we live, the RV
Okay.
trailer where we live, which is on my side of the bed. And it had a big white LED flashlight shining right in my window. I'm going, um, okay. So I, pull down the blind, see who's out there. Nobody there. Pitch black.
Okay.
Nobody there.
That's
Scared the
interesting.
bejesus out of me.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Claire Louise in the chat room wanted to know what was your best venue when you did do paranormal investigating. What was the place that stood out the most for you?
Actually, it was one of the places I lived. And
Oh,
this was in Arroyo Seco, New Mexico, outside of Taos, New Mexico, which Taos, New Mexico is so unique. Even though they're really, really high altitude, they are so haunted. Everywhere you go, it's just ghosts after ghosts after ghosts after ghosts per mile. And the place I live was literally built over the old burial ground,
okay.
over the old cemetery. So we had shadows, we had objects, we had things moving, we had things, displaced that showed up in other places. We had full body apparitions. We had footsteps. I even saw a few times, in fact, the end of like a lady's night dress with, lace ruffle around the
Okay.
edge
Yeah. Yeah.
moving away from me. I'm going, okay, and this looked like she was from like I want to say late 1800s.
Okay.
So we had the sound of babies crying. We had doors opening and closing. We had um, the kitchen cabinets opening and closing on their own. I even had an encounter with La Llorona. La
And you're gonna have to
Llorona,
explain that
she
one to me.
is La Llorona is the crying lady. The
Okay.
legend has it that in the I want to say anywhere between 15 and 1700s, a lady fell in love with a really wealthy, good-looking guy. They fell madly in love. She had two kids from a previous marriage, and he didn't want the kids, so she took them to a river and drowned them, when he rejected the kids. And she immediately realized her mistake, and ever since she's been crying looking for her kids. That scared the friggin' hell out of me.
I
I
can
mean, don't get
imagine.
me wrong, I feel sorry for her, but that really scared me.
Wow. That's that. I'm gonna have to look up that. Might have to use that in one of my other shows. Facts and
La
mystery
Llorona is
show.
a very, very, very scary legend. Um, Many people from, I want to say, South America north to Canada has their own version of La Llorona, and I actually had an encounter with her. Very scary.
Okay. So what happened, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, it was a really, really stormy, wet night, and the little, because we were along a small, I want to say, arroyo waterway, because she appears
Mm-hmm.
along waterways. And it was really windy, really stormy, rainy, etc. I was writing some stuff down because I had some stuff going through my mind. When that comes, I just sit down, I journal, and write everything out. So that way, it's
Yeah.
off my mind. And I heard something by our back door because ours was what is known as a shotgun shack. You have a front door and you have a back door directly, almost entirely behind, on the other
Okay.
opposite
Okay.
end of the house, on the sidewalls. Okay. And I heard something by the back door. I thought, okay, well, it's probably just the wind, rattling the door, no big deal. I heard a couple of footsteps, like somebody stepped up on the back porch, okay, or come through that door.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, I heard a blood curdling woman's scream. You could not mistake this. I am dead serious. I mean, I heard that and I literally quit what I was doing, shut out the light, ran hell for leather toward the bedroom, jumped in bed, got under the covers, and huddled up next to my husband I was shaking. I was so scared. I mean, even though I feel sorry for her in a way, because of that maternal instinct,
Yeah.
I want to help her, but I mean, just don't scare me next time,
Yeah, no,
you
don't just,
know?
I'll help. Just don't scare the bejeebers out of me. That's true.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Yeah.
So that would we consider your most horrific experience with
Oh
spirit?
God, yes. That and one other experience I had in New Mexico. We had bought a house. It was a main house and a guest house.
Mm-hmm.
And we were residing in the guest house because we had a tenant in the main house. Because we had paranormal activity going on in both houses.
Oh wow.
And what we had was absolutely, uh, I want to say, evil, negative, malicious, horrible. It scratched me and my cousin who lived with us at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we got burned, we got bruised, we got beaten within an inch of our lives. Finally, it drew really negative people toward us who robbed us day and night till we finally said enough and took off. We had to leave. I mean, it was leave or we were afraid for our lives. So,
Wow.
yeah, those were the most horrifying experiences I think I'd ever had.
Now you live where right now?
We live in Roseburg, Oregon.
Okay. So you've lived in New Mexico, which is
Yes.
the
In
scary. I
California,
used to think that that would be an interesting place to live, but it's a little
uh-uh.
bit too scary right now.
Yeah, no, they are blood soaked. Arizona, same thing. We had a lot of paranormal experiences in Arizona too, but
Hmm.
I was friendlier with the ghosts in Arizona than I was in New Mexico.
Yeah.
But a lot of the ghosts in both places, I'm actually blood related to their families. So a lot of my relatives were involved in some pretty gory, bloody, yeah.
Too fun. I do believe you do have a very well-known relative from the past.
Uh huh. A lot of them.
Yeah. But if I'm correct, you had Billy the Kid.
Yes, ma'am.
So how did you make that connection?
Well, Um, that's an interesting story in and of itself. I have a past life connection to him. I was actually married to him. I have
Okay.
all the documentation to prove that. That's been verified. I have the historical, marriage record documentation, records of their children, records of all of his movements and activities. So I have all of this historically verified.
Okay.
It did actually happen. And most of the paperwork I have verifies my story. So I remember that very clearly, and it's documented all in my book. Okay.
Okay.
It's all documented from the historical records in my book, everything that happened. And I one day, I was in New Mexico and Arizona. My parents took me there because I was having these nightmares and flashbacks, things I didn't even understand at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I wanted to find out just what the hell this was about. What was going on with this? Why was I having these flashbacks,
Flashbacks.
nightmares, things that would literally leave me waking up in a cold sweat?
Ooh,
Okay.
not good. Yeah.
Because I had visions of things like running through this, um, I want to say arroyo waterway somewhere, along brush lines. I don't know, something in the ground. And there were gunshots and a lot of smoke and it was really scary. I had visions of being on horseback looking back and seeing these men firing guns at me. I'm going, what the, you
Yep.
know and I had visions of dances, or what are known as bailes, and um there were big parties, and this is historically documented. This actually did happen.
Okay.
um and I had, visions of this place that I didn't even know where I was. Okay. I'd never
Okay.
been there before that point.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about it. And at the time, I really didn't believe in paranormal activity at all until I was 21 and I found out what was going on. But that's another story. Um, and so I went to New Mexico, and lo and behold, I ran right into him, and we got to talking, and I realized what it was about. I goes, oh, okay, well, it doesn't seem so scary or so bad, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And gosh, he's just, he's followed me through my life, and we've been very, very close ever since. And um, he's been really just, almost like a guide to me, but my guide is David, but my family on the other side helps my guide out. They pull a lot of the strings for me on a lot of this.
That's what
So
family does.
yeah. And then I was doing some genealogical research, and I plugged all my information in, and it came up, bingo, he's my biological cousin in this life.
Wow.
So from that life to this life, the connections are very, very strong.
Right. So now, I find that wild, but it's cool all at the same
Hmm.
time. Okay, tell us a little bit about David, your
David
guide.
is my guide. We were in a very, very serious auto accident in Nevada 2 years ago, and um, it'll be 3 years next March. Um, we almost died in the wreck,
Mm.
and I was sitting in my motel room here in Oregon, here in Roseburg one day. My husband and my cousin were out doing something, and I hear a male voice go, "Hi, I'm your guide. My name is David." Like I hear you.
Okay, wow.
So that's how that occurred, and he's been with me ever since.
And does David, okay, you are a psychic medium, so does
Yes.
David help you with your
Yes.
readings? Okay.
Yes, he does. He pulls all the Akashic charts. He pulls all the information that I need, and he is just spot on. He is
Cool.
spot on. I mean, everything that's correct, he gets it.
Okay. Do you do readings for people one on one? Do you do platforms? Okay.
I can do platform. I can do one-on-one. I can do Skype and Zoom and any way that you need.
Cool. So first off, for anybody who wants to get a hold of you, who let me see if I can get this out right. Okay, you can connect with Melissa on Facebook. Just type in Melissa, Melissa dot Bryan, Bryan dot 3150, and that's her Facebook connection. Is there a
Hmm.
specific reason why you have 3150, or was just a random
No, it was
Facebook
just
thing?
random. I
Ah,
think it was
okay.
just random.
It's always interesting sometimes the numbers people use on things.
Yeah, no, that one was random. It was the first one that came up. I said, okay, well, I'll just go with that.
Yeah, because there's a lot of Melissas. I was first typing it in, and a whole bunch of came in. I said, nope, with Melissa Bryan.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's also my website, https:/// psychic psychic mom, Mary Oscar Mary, all one word lowercase, to, let's see, shit, 2017 dot wix wix site site lowercase one word .com /Melissa Bryan.
Okay. What I'll do is I'll at the end of the show I will get the link. So much for
Okay.
uh, me being the hostess with the mostest there. I will get that and I will put it into the comments of the video of the yeah of the video of this show. So everybody who's in the show will get a link to it. But for those who are in the audio, you gotta come over to Facebook and see it. Or
Yeah, and
YouTube.
I just got on Patreon, so you can sign up on Patreon, and I'm up there as well.
Okay.
So I just got that going. You can get a reading, and everything's good to go.
Cool. Well, once the show is over, you can go get all the links that you have and just put them in the comments of the show so that anybody else who wants to get a hold of you can see the links. They'll be notified automatically with the links once you post them in. So, which is cool. So
I
a
have a
quick
whole
hello
list
to
of
cool.
all
Put
my
them in.
social things.
There you go. Just put them in. That's what this is. This is what this is about. This is about you getting to share who you are, what you are, and people getting to know you. Because even for me, I think I've seen you once or twice on YouTube's or on videos, and we've connected like quickly on internet, and I was like, okay, yes, let's do this. And so I I
Yeah,
try
I
to
do
do it.
YouTube. I'm like on all the major social channels.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
on literally almost all of
All right. So, like I said, we will put them into the chat room at the end of the show. Well, not in the chat room, but yeah, into the chat comments at the end of the show. You'll put them here. I'll get them for you. I'll put them over on the YouTube site as well. And oh, look, I think I have a comment. Woohoo! I actually got. Oh, I got a friend over in Skype. Sorry, Skype on YouTube. Hey, Scott. Thank you very much for showing that at least we can get the comments from YouTube. Yippee! I don't
them.
know what happened. That just sort of threw me for a loop when I noticed that, and I was like, "Nah, it can't be." Yes, it is. Facebook, Facebook. We always have our issues. Well, hey, everybody's spending time on Facebook and on social medias because of the everything that's going on these days. So I mean, I can't
Yeah,
blame them.
yeah.
You know.
Honestly, now this is just my opinion. I'm not telling anyone else what to believe, but honestly, I believe that we need to open back up. I mean, this is ridiculous. It's hurting my business too. And
Yeah.
when I
Well,
first
I'm
found
sure
out
it's
they were
hurting
shutting,
everybody's business.
when I found out they were shutting everything and everyone down, I goes, no, I don't have time to shut down. What are you talking about, shut down?
Hmm.
You know, I
Well,
mean,
it'll all get back to normal-ish.
yeah. And back in 2018, my family and I were in Denver, Colorado when that big flu epidemic went through.
Mm-hmm.
This was not just the flu. I believe this was coronavirus or COVID-19 or whatever it is. Anyway,
Okay.
whatever you want to call it, it was it. We had all the same symptoms as this virus.
Okay.
So we were really sick. It took us about a month and a half to recover from that. And they eventually shut that lab that was doing it down and sent them back to China where this one inflamed.
Uh,
So,
well, they will figure out in the end exactly who's doing what and what's doing who. And
mhm.
but I mean, I have to disagree in one small sense. The shutdown was amazing for, if nothing else, for Mother Nature because the
Mhm.
Earth is healing so
Yeah, it is.
nicely, and I think this is Mother Nature's way of saying, hello, something happened. Now y'all go to your rooms, and I'm gonna take my breath, my rest. She
Yeah,
gets
I
to
know.
have her glass of wine and leave us children in our rooms to play and kind of sort of behave. Just not everybody behaves. Usually it's the boys who
No, I
misbehave,
know.
but you know. But
It threw me for a loop because it's like, what do you mean slow down and shut down? I ain't got time for that. I've got, things I've got to finish and, get wrapped up here so I can move to the next location, you
yeah.
know?
So you're moving again.
I'm hoping to go to California. We found some land over there, over 100
Mm-hmm.
acres in the mountains. Oh my God, it is beautiful.
Oh,
With a
it's gonna be
view of
nice.
Mount Shasta.
Okay.
Oh my
I have a
God,
few
it's
friends.
gorgeous.
I have a few friends in California.
Yeah, and we have family connections there. So that's where my husband grew up, was in that area.
Oh, that's good. So it's
So
not like going into a whole new
no, no,
zone. Yeah.
no, no, no. We're just going home.
There you go.
Yeah,
One
we're just
of
going
one of the
home.
homes.
Yeah.
So, is there anything that you haven't done that you want to do? Because you seem to be able to, you have done so many things and so many connections. You found so much about your heritage that there's got to be something that you haven't done that you really want to do.
I want to travel.
Oh, okay.
I want to
Got it.
travel. I want to, go around the nation and see all these places that are supposedly allegedly haunted,
Okay.
and I found a few just in my own little bits of research that appear to be haunted, and I can like consciously see into their past and communicate with those souls that may still be there.
Okay.
And I
So
want to
you
go
may not be
back.
doing paranormal.
No,
Go ahead.
I want to go to the Winchester Mystery House again. I want to see my friend Sarah. She's a neat lady. I really love her. She's great.
The Winchester. That's the house of the people who built the Winchester rifles.
Yes.
Yeah,
Sarah
I
is one
saw
of
that.
my
They
yeah, Sarah's one of my friends. I like her a lot. She's great.
cool. I saw they did a virtual tour of it
Hmm.
on when all this started happening and places were closing down, and I was like, wow, that is on one of my bucket lists.
Hmm.
Lord knows when I'll get there because I'm up here in Canada.
Right.
First, gotta
What part of
let them
Canada?
allow me to. I'm in Quebec.
Quebec. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad's father, my grandfather,
Hmm.
who is the grandson of Jesse James, Jesse Woodson James,
Okay.
and or one of them anyway. Uh, when the heat got too much in Missouri, for Jesse and his family, he took the family north to Canada and
There you
acquired the
go.
surname I was born under. So that was one of his aliases. So I was actually born under his alias.
Ew.
I'm a fifth generation James, 5 generations now. And
So
I've
how
compared records, photos, historical documentation. I reviewed it all, and all the things just line up.
nice.
So,
But that takes a lot of work to do to do all that research.
no, actually, it was simple. It was fairly easy. When you get to know how to track the outlaws by census, birth, marriage, death, all
Mhm.
that,
Mhm.
and locations, you learn how to line things up. Because what they will do is they will tweak a letter, a number, a place, a name. They will tweak it just slightly enough to throw people off, to make you think,
Wow.
no, no, that's not them. Yes, it is.
Okay. Very nice.
Yeah, when you learn how to line things up,
Mhm.
because when I researched like the names, the places, the dates on my great grandparents, and I lined it up with the real names, I put them overlapping. I goes, oh my God, you know, I realized, no, that is them.
Okay. Okay. You are in your bio. I read. I was gonna say we read. There you go. Um, let me get back there. The 14th great grandniece of try that one again.
Dragon Canoe,
Dragging
yes.
canoe of the Western Cherokee Nation. Oh yeah, yeah. And 16th of the great granddaughter of Elder Whitefeather of the.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about the native connection.
The native
Native.
connection is that when I was going back in my records, I realized there was one line of my family that was missing,
Mm-hmm.
and that was my father's mother's mother and her line. And that's where a lot of the famous names and all that comes in. That's where a
Mm-hmm.
lot of them come from. Not all of them, but quite a few.
Yeah.
Uh, so because a lot of the native elders were at that time coming to me and saying, "You're native," and I mean right to my face, and I'm like, "Okay." I didn't really believe them right off because I thought, no, my family says, no, 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 we're not that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought, well, you know what? There was one line missing when I realized I'd done all the other lines. Now I had that one line left. And so I goes to my mom. I go, okay, give me like a first name, a year date, I don't know, place name, just some little something I can plug into a computer. If it comes up, it comes up. If it just nothing, then okay, well, I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
But so I goes to a genealogy center in Cheyenne, Wyoming. I sit down, I say, okay, whoever wants to be found, Grandma, if you're here, help me out. You know,
Okay.
whoever wants to be found, now's it. Let's get this done. So I'm sitting there shaking, nervously plugging in this little bit of information, a first name, a year date, a plus minus, something that might give some hint of something. So I hit enter and I sit there and I'm shaking nervously, going, okay, come on, come on, come on, come on, please, anything, something. Out comes my great grandmother, my great grandfather. Out comes my grandmother's entire line, and there's the native link, just like the elders said would be there.
Nice.
They said
That's great.
they said like 11, 12 generations. No, it was 16, 17, 18 generations.
Wow.
But that 12, 11, 12 generations, I understand now where that comes from.
Okay.
That's the connecting link.
Yeah. Well, it makes it interesting when we can trace back. I guess being there, being in the States, and being able to, like you said, you went to Wyoming and you went to the genealogy site, and you did your research there. So it makes it a little easier to.
Yeah. And what happens when I'm doing this work
Mhm.
is I will go to like a genealogy center. I will go to like I have to go to the local one here to find some additional information on my explorers, like Kit Carson, who, by the way, I'm very close with. I've actually been to his house in Taos, New Mexico, and he pranked me but good. One time I went to try to be a docent for the museum there, which it required a lot of other red tape bullshit anyway. Long story short, too expensive for me, too rich for my blood. So I was talking to Joseph, and all of a sudden, on the room that had the wood floors, which was closest to the street side at
Mhm.
that time, I heard very heavy bootsteps pacing back and forth and back and forth. I thought, okay, I said, look, I've got a little bit of a background in security work, which I've done security before for other things.
Mhm.
That in and of itself is another story. um, So I said, do you mind if I go see who's in there? If anybody's in there, I'm going to toss them out on their ear. I'm going to kick them out street side and say, you ain't welcome here no more. Get gone. You know?
Okay.
She said, yeah, sure. Go ahead and go look. If it protects us, yeah. I go, okay. So I set my purse down. I was in, the full 1800s dress outfit, which I have one. It's boxed away in my storage. Um, So I set my purse down. I go look around in there. I go, hello, hello, anybody there? Come on out. Come out. I'm going to toss you out of here. You know?
Mhm.
And, well, look around. Listen, nobody there. Nothing. And so, okay, I go to pick up to the same room where I put my purse down. I go to pick up my purse, and I feel somebody behind me. So I reach up, look around, nobody there. Okay, I go back to gathering my purse. All of a sudden, I hear breathing in my ear. I go, "Oh, you son of a!" So I straighten up, get ready to swing around,
Right.
look around, nobody there. So I go back to gathering my purse. All of a sudden, in my ear, I hear, "Come here!" I'm going, "Holy shit!" I'm a big booming male voice go, "Come here!" I go, you know. I
Mhm.
mean, it was. I wish I'd had a recorder on me. Oh, that was the one thing I wish I'd had a voice recorder with me at that point. All my recorders were at home. I didn't think I'd need it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I hear raucous laughter behind me. I go, "Kid, you little, oh, I'm going to get you. Oh, I'm going to hug you. I'm going to so get you."
Okay. That's Kit Carson.
That's my, oh, well, cousin by marriage, and then da 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 da, long, 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 long tail. But anyway, because without him, and that's the other past life connection between Billy and I, if he and the youth people had not, oh, well, hello. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I get on air. All the critters want to talk. Well, hello. Hi. Hello.
Oh,
Oh.
that's cool.
Yeah, no, it never fails. I'm okay with it.
Here we go. He wants on camera. There you
Oh,
go.
well, hello. Hi,
Yes, Onyx used to
sweetheart.
come on the shows with me all the time, and now he's not as
Oh,
much.
I don't mind. I don't mind. Mine normally do, but my kitties are asleep in the back room, so.
Okay, you done?
Oh,
Go.
what a cutie. Oh. But anyway, if Kit and the Ute people had not taken me from my homeland at Canyon de Chelly in
Mhm.
Arizona at that time, Billy and I never would have met because they took my mom and myself and siblings and relatives and whatnot over to Santa Fe. And believe me, I saw things at that school I never want to see again, ever. Period, bar none. No. Um, so in 1870, I actually met Billy at the very place where I went as a family vacation over in Santa Fe, at the very same place where he and I met back in that life.
Wow.
So if Kit had not come into the picture like that, which he's actually very sorrowful and regretful about that, by the way, he and I have made our peace, so we're good.
Okay.
Um, but anyway, Kit, he's an absolute prankster. Great sense of humor. I love the man. I
Okay.
really do. And so I have to go to this Geno Center and look up Meriwether Lewis and William Clark, who are another line
Mhm.
explorers. But anyway, they saw and documented this area. And I just found out on another show that I stumbled onto the other day, about a couple of days ago, that he had been murdered over something that a couple of politicians way back in that day were conspiring against the United States and against him, figuring he knew too much
Okay.
and murdered him, which was interesting because I didn't know that. I didn't have that information. So I feel like Meriwether was there talking to me, saying, you know, I was murdered, and they fingered his killer. They actually fingered his killer, and he can now rest in peace. Thank heaven.
Okay. Yeah.
He can now rest in peace. Thank heaven. Good on him. I'm glad they found out.
Yeah. It's nice how you can find that connection and find people. You can help people to find closure, which is really cool.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that one show, it actually also pointed out another line on Sir Henry Sinclair, who came in, what was that? The guys with the crosses on their um, clothes, Knights Templar. That's it, Knights
Okay.
Templar. And they intermarried with the Micmac people out of Nova Scotia. So now I want to find out, did they have any descendants that came directly into my lines? And could that be another line of Native people that I might actually be related to?
Yeah. You never know.
I want to find out. I'm really actually excited about it because we have a Geno Center right here in Roseburg, which I'm guessing for time it's closed because of, well, anyway, all this craziness, if you will. And so once I can get in there, I can go back into their lines and research and find out what's going on with all that.
Yeah. It gets a little easier if you can actually go to the place rather
Right,
than just sit at home and do the, yeah, because
right,
you can
right,
only
right,
find so much out sitting at home and talking to Elsie or Google.
right.
It's
And
cool.
also, there's also Fold3, genealogy.com. Oh my God, 23andMe. There's, oh gosh, there's so many different ones. Roots Magic, Family Tree, My Heritage, We're Related, Family Life, Find a Grave, all this stuff. And that makes my job a little bit easier.
Yeah, I'm sure. Now, you've done so much research for your own family. Have
Yeah.
you ever gone, has anyone ever asked you to do some research for their family? Like,
Once or twice I've had that, yeah, but I've since quit kind of doing that also because of a lot of hell I got over it. So I'm just not doing it anymore.
okay. And it's also a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. But you know what? It's so rewarding
Yeah.
at the same time because when I go to a genealogy center, I set my things down, I close my eyes, deep breath, I say, all right, whoever wants to be found, now is it. If you want your records found, take me to your records specifically.
Okay.
And I will feel hands literally on my shoulders, and they will take me right directly to where I need to be.
Oh, nice.
So I get that extra help.
Yeah. Well, it's simple, but not so simple. Pretty much
Hmm.
all you have to do is ask for it. You
Hmm.
know, what a lot of people don't realize is just making the verbalizing the question makes the difference.
Hmm.
You know. So yeah, I like that one.
So whoever needs to be found, that's what I ask them. If you need to be found or want to be found, now is it. Now's the time.
Should have talked to you a few years ago when I was doing a search.
I could still help you with it. That's not a problem.
Oh,
And you know,
I finally figured it out after a bunch of chasing my tail, but you know, but it
oh
was
no,
good.
I hear you. I was at the grocery store the other day. Funniest thing ever. I think it was yesterday. I was at the grocery store up in Salem. I was going to go to something, but something else happened to prevent that. But anyway, I was at the grocery store and I saw this lady, that works for the grocery store. She had a bandana on. I said, "Hey, nice bandana. Check out my bag." She goes, "Who's robbing the train? Me or you, Jesse?" And I goes, "Oh my God." And I said, "Oh, funny you should mention Jesse." And we got to talking. Turns out she's a cousin on my grandpa's line.
Oh wow.
So I had my business cards in my back pocket. I handed her one. I said, "You stay in touch. I want you to call me. Here's my number. Here's my name. Stay in touch. Do not
Yeah.
lose my number." You know? So
It's
I get
yeah.
to go see another cousin of mine.
There you go. There
Yeah!
you go. It's nice to find that connection when you don't realize it. You're not looking for it, and it's just sort of
Yeah. And she
falls
goes,
into your
"Oh,
lap.
and there's the Daltons." I goes, "Uh-huh. Yep. That's right. You got her." And she goes, "Oh, and everyone else saw lawmen." I goes, "Not all of them."
Yep. Nope.
I goes,
You'll
"Not
be all
all of
right.
them. I know who the lawmen are. I know who all the lawmen are. I've got all their names written into my records." And anyway,
So, is all of this information in your book, or is this going to be a
yes,
separate
a
book
lot of
altogether?
it is in my book. Oh, yes. Oh, a lot of it is in my book. And there's a lot more to write as well. There's
Okay.
the explorers, there's the politicians, there's the military leaders, there's the, let's see, presidents, there's the first ladies, and the, oh, God, there's just so many of them.
Okay. Well, I'm going to get through the first book, and then and then once by then, because I'm a very slow reader, unfortunately.
Oh, that's
I
okay.
need to do it audio and reading, so I can do both. It sort of sinks into his brain a little bit more.
Right, right.
But but yeah, so I'm going to get reading that book. Maybe by the time I finish reading, you'll have written a second book.
Maybe, who knows? I know
Mm,
my stepfather-in-law was saying you need to write another book
okay.
to continue to, and I know that all my ancestors have been like lining up going, "When are you going to write a book about me?"
Yeah.
Well, I haven't done all the research yet, for one thing. And for two, I'm like in the middle of a bunch of other smaller projects. And I'm like getting requests for, psychic work left, right, and center, and
Hmm.
Patreon now. And that's going to get me going. Anyway, long story short, a lot of work to do.
Exactly. Now, when you say psychic work and you do readings for people, is it just psychic readings, or do you also use cards? Do you use tools
Um,
in the process of it?
okay. I do what is known as psychometry for one thing,
Okay.
which means I read photos, objects, buildings, land, people, that
Okay.
kind of thing. I read energies, I read auras, I do pendulum, I do distance healing, I do, oh my God, I'm trying to think. There's so many things I do. Oh, bless you.
Got to sneeze this year. I'm
That's
trying to
okay.
hold
Oh,
it off.
you too. You too. Oh God, allergies have been horrible this year.
Oh, and I did some dusting today, so it's still kind of in the air.
Yeah, yeah. No
Yeah.
kidding. I hear you. Yeah, horrible allergies this year. It's been just really awful. Oh, we got a couple live comments. Let's see here. Hey, Scott. What's up, Scott? How you doing, hon?
Yeah, that was the only person we had that was able to comment, and he's in the YouTube.
Right on.
Yeah,
Well, hey. Uh,
we've had a bunch of people popping in and out through Facebook, but like I said, it's difficult when we can't actually have the chat
right,
interaction,
right.
which I'm hoping they would fix. But I didn't notice this until today. because I had a show on Thursday with my co-host Gina, and she had no issues. But I came to program our show today, and it said, "Oh, just a little note. We've already sent them notification, but Facebook is like." So I could have done it
Yeah,
on my on a page or in a group, but I
Facebook
always
just
do it.
does not. Yeah, no, Facebook doesn't like me at
It's
all. They don't.
PMSing.
Yeah, Facebook honestly does not like me at all. I mean, they have already said, "Oh, we don't want you here." It's like, well, too bad. I'm here now, so kiss
There
my
you go.
butt.
I'm here. I'm here. Deal with it.
Right, exactly. Exactly. But yeah,
Yeah. See.
it's just when you know the historical nuances of a lot of these ancestors, it also makes a lot of the paranormal and the spirit work that you've done already so much easier.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, and a lot of this is in my book, when I was in high school, I was, hey, Billy, stop, quit it.
Hmm,
Sorry, my dogs, Bandit and
that's okay.
Billy. They're very talkative dogs.
So was Onyx. So they're probably having conversations. Yeah.
But yeah, basically, when you know the historical nuances, like in high school, I wasn't exactly welcome there either. And there was this one area of the place that was in the library. It was in the loft toward the back right hand side, where all the historical everything was.
Okay.
And there's a portal there. And the ancestors would come in through and teach me various things of their eras.
Hmm.
So I got to learn things like cards and dice and ropes and guns and horses and, rope making and clothing production and cooking at Dutch ovens, uh, farrier work, God, so much from their eras,
Yeah.
you know.
I want a Dutch oven.
I had a set of them, but that got destroyed literally in that truck wreck. My Dutch ovens gave their lives for me.
Well,
My
I'm glad
Dutch
it was a Dutch
ovens
oven that gave their
literally,
lives and not you, so we're good.
yeah, yeah. My Dutch ovens gave their lives for me. Cracked them right in half.
Ooh,
Stopped an 18 wheeler dead cold.
there you go.
Yeah, stopped an 18 wheeler right in its tracks.
Perfect. Well, we're almost coming to the end of the show. My gosh, an hour went by so quickly. Is there anything aside from moving to California? Is there anything that you're going to be doing in the future, Facebook wise, that you
Um,
want people to share? That you want to?
well, I'm not sure yet, really. I don't think I'm really going to be doing anything over this year. I think this year's
Okay.
kind of a dead year,
Yeah.
because of everything that's happening. So it's not really like I'm going to be doing anything major. Just kind of moving home and getting my life back on track and um, just doing my normal stuff.
Yeah. That's what we need to do. Is we need to keep things calm and normal. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And there is one thing I want to do, and that is in Wairika, California. They have a museum and genealogy center there as well. And they have this one part of the museum. It's like almost like this wooded, I don't know what you want to call it, like yard, trail, whatever, with these old, old, old buildings.
Okay.
And there is something there that is calling to me, literally calling to me, that
Okay.
wants to communicate, wants to talk. I don't know what they want, but I want to get there to find out.
Hmm. Well, you'll
I
have to
feel
keep
like
us
there's
informed.
something there that wants to communicate with me.
Okay. You'll
So
have to
I
keep us
want,
informed.
yeah, I want to do that. That's just kind of one of those things that, I want to find out what it is they want, what it is they need. Does somebody need to cross over? Does somebody need to um, get some help with something? Does somebody
Okay.
need to you know, um, talk. Just
Yeah.
get something off their chest so they can move on,
Makes sense.
you
Makes sense.
know? And I know a lot of the spirits there in Wairika Montague area, and Montague Wairika. I've had some pretty serious experiences over there.
Okay. Well,
Hey,
maybe it's going to be getting together with old friends.
that could very well be. I'm excited and I'm
Exactly.
looking forward to it.
Cool.
It's kind of like a family reunion, as it were.
Exactly. Exactly. A big old party.
Yeah,
Set up the table. I'll be
right,
there. If there's food there, I'm always there. Well, especially if there's
right.
chocolate. Well, we're gonna go. Thank you very much for doing this.
Oh, you're
And
very welcome.
when I do get a chance to read the book, I promise I will let you know, and I'll rebook
Okay.
you. But it won't be till the end of the year because I'm booked till November now,
Yeah, you're
which
not
is
the
really
only one
fun.
who's kind of booked up. I also have to go through all my stuff here, downsize, reorganize, figure out what we're going to keep, what we're going to let go of,
Yeah,
go through my storage unit and find out what we're going to keep and what we're going to let go of, and
yeah.
sell off and donate and trash and shred and
It's time to downsize.
yeah, yeah, it is.
All right. Well, I thank you very much. I thank everybody in the chat room, even though we haven't been able to interact with you. Thank you for holding tight, and thank you, Scott, for letting me know that YouTube was working. And I will see you next weekend, everybody, when my guest is Dale McCarthy, animal communicator. Night, everybody.
Bye bye.